Hey everybody, welcome to Heels and Gills. Chuck here, and today we're going to be tying up a little fall pattern 1 32nd ounce crappie jig here. I've already been writing up a nice list of jigs that we're going to be doing in our series coming up this winter, but leading into fall, I'm going to be showing you some of my favorite fall patterns, some good colors to throw during the fall, and we're going to be starting out with a grayish blue with a little silver flashing jig right here. It's ideal for that cooler water temperature. It's kind of like a natural bait fish look. And we're going to be going over everything that you need to tie these up for yourself. So let's tie up the little fall pattern jig. First thing on this little Popeye jig here is we're going to go ahead and cut the tail for this little jig. And the way I do it, I just go down about a 3/4 inch to an inch, and then I just clip the top of that hackle feather off, just like so. And then down through here where it's V'd, you can see where I've started the V here. I just go in, push the hackle feathers down, and cut me a bunch of those V's out. That's going to be making up the body. Then I'll be doing the same thing with the gray. And I usually keep a little Ziploc bag, and like right up here, I'll just come in, cut this tail off, and I'll just save it in a Ziploc bag for when I need to do a jig with the gray tail, whatever color jig I'll be doing. Just a little tip, this is what I do. I like gathering all the feathers up, putting the gray and the blue, separating them, and then take the bigger ones that you have cut out down lower on the hackle feathers, like this one, and I like laying them separate from the shorter ones, and that way I can start with the longer ones in the back toward the bend of the hook and work my way up to give it more body. And we're going to be using a black thread today, so we'll go ahead and lay our thread down. We're going to go all the way back to the bend of the hook. First thing that we're going to be adding is the tail. I like those, like I said, about 3/4 to about an inch long. Lay it right on the side of the shank and let it kind of roll up. That way it will be laying right on top of that shank, just like so. And put some good tight wraps down it. Now we can start building the body. The way I do it now, I kind of stagger it. I go one gray, then one blue, and what I do, I kind of just lay them back and put them right on the side of the shank of that hook. Couple of tight wraps. You don't have to really lock it down. You can do that as you're adding. Then we're going to go with a blue one. And even though this is like a 1 32nd, I believe this is a 1 32nd. This gives it a little bit more body, just bulks it up. Something easier for the fish to see. And like I said, gray and blue is an awesome fall pattern. And it's getting that time of the year. Fall's just around the corner. And then we're just going to work our way all the way up the jig. Now, the next thing I want to do, I like taking a little bit of UV resin and just going right across the top of that shank. Now, you can go with crazy glue if you don't have UV resin. I've used it many times myself. It works great. We'll hit it with the UV light. All it's doing is locking in that collar. And then the next thing that we want to add is some silver flashing right here. I'm going with an all silver. And we're going to do like 2 strands on each side of this jig right here. just like so. We're going to lay it right down to where that tail ends, that hackle tail. Give him a couple turns, locking him in. Get that trimmed off. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And now we're just going to go ahead, give it a few nice wraps down it, locking that flash in. There we go. And then last but not least, we're going to be adding some chenille here. This is round, this is 1/4 inch chenille, and this doesn't have no flash to it. It's just a solid gray, very soft chenille. Clean up the end of it there where we can tie into it. Give him a couple wraps, go around him a couple times. And now we're just going to go ahead and get this body finished up right here. We're going to go right back to where the hackle starts. Work our way right back up toward the front. Let's go back a little bit further on that there. There we go, that looks pretty good. Then right back up to the front, and then we're just going to work our way down it, locking it in. Then when we get up here, we're going to do some crisscross turns on him. Sounds like I need to oil something, doesn't it? Get that set into place there. Now we can go ahead and trim this excess off. Use it for another tie. And then we can go ahead and get our collar build up here. And last but not least, while we're squeaking along here, we're going to get our whip finishing done. We're going to do 5 turns. Get him locked in good. Hit that collar with a little bit of UV resin. Doesn't take much at all. Well, there you go, just a little 1 32 ounce jig in the fall pattern. Water temperature is going to be starting to cool down here coming up, and this is an excellent color for those slabs out there when that starts happening. Got a little silver flash in it to catch their eye, but a easy, pretty simple tie to do, but a very productive. I hope you give this one a try here. Don't forget to check the videos out at the end of this one. And down in the description, subscribe to our channel. We're growing every day. Hit that notification bell. Like the video if you liked it, guys. Until next time, happy tying, and we'll see you right back here at Heels and Gills.